All right. Looks like I'm live. Waiting for a few people to see if anybody shows up. I got a couple people in here. Welcome. So this channel, when I started this channel out, this was going to be basically setting up this whole system, the soundproofing, the equipment. I was going to review equipment and hopefully make some cash off the spiffs you get from Amazon and whatnot. But with current events, I feel like anybody that has a channel and that has the equipment should go ahead and make their voices heard. So, what does that mean? Obviously, the current administration is doing things that are wildly out of control, and I would say wildly fascist. So, if we just sit by and do nothing, it's just history repeating itself, right? For government to literally sit there and say that being Antifa is terrorist makes that government by itself fascist. Just by saying that alone makes that government fascist. So what I'm really happy to see, and the reason I'm here doing this live video today, is to talk about the alt-left pipeline. Okay. I've been seeing it on TikTok. There's applications for the alt-left pipeline. I definitely don't know how to use TikTok yet, but maybe I'll submit my application there. What I can tell you is I've been an electrician, and for the past 10 years, I've been doing handyman work. Fuck Donald Trump, number one. Free Palestine, okay? And marginalized communities need to be respected. This bullshit that's going on now, putting trans people and people of color in these horrible situations, is just not the America I want to live in. So I guess you can consider this my application to the alt-left pipeline. I think right now, more than anything, we all need to make our voices heard, because sitting by and doing nothing is getting us nowhere. That's one thing. Number two, there's a lot of infighting on the left. We always have this infighting. We just can't come together. The right wing, no matter how stupid or whatever, they stick together. And of course, you see some fracturing now, but it's nowhere near like what we've got over here on the left. Okay. It's pretty extreme. And I know that during this next election, there needs to be some real push from center all the way over to where I'm at to come together on the left. I see this purple revolution thing that people are trying, and I applaud it, but I don't see that going anywhere fast, because a lot of the people that are on the right, that are in the position, maybe they do want to leave, right? But that doesn't mean that their hatred instantly disappears, because they see that Donald Trump is, and his cabinet is just completely evil. That doesn't mean that they automatically now can accept their trans neighbor or their person of color neighbor. They don't just lose the hate. That's something that has to be taught. They have to be deprogrammed. And as far as I'm concerned, that's not something that I can do. I can have conversations. I can present myself in the best light possible. I can present my arguments, but that doesn't necessarily change somebody's mind or heart. Living by example, right? That's what we've got to do. Take care of your neighbors. Yes. However, the whole purple revolution thing that I've seen, it seems like it's falling apart before it even gets started. Because it's what I was saying about the left. We're already so fractured already, and now we're trying to bring people over from the right and have them see our way of seeing things. I don't see that happening. It's definitely not overnight. I was watching the Cult Cottage Lady, and she made a lot of sense. Coming out of a cult, these people, maybe they realize that some of this is really bad, but they're not just instantly going to change their complete thought patterns overnight. Um, it's good. It seems like they're on the path to critical thinking. And I can speak from personal experience. Using critical thinking got me out of a rabbit hole that I was in when I was younger. It's not to say and these people aren't stupid. I wasn't stupid. I was just ignorant to the facts. I was not listening to everything around me. I was not digging in. I was not doing my own research. What it took was hanging around the right people. I moved to Austin first when I was raised up in Texas and Houston, and so obviously I had a lot of influences that were definitely from the right, if not the far right. But one of the first steps I took was just moving to a more progressive city and hearing other people's points of view, meeting people. That means meeting trans people, meeting gay people, meeting people of color that I'd met people of color in Houston. Obviously, it's a melting pot. However, making friends with people from marginalized communities really changed and opened my critical thinking and put it in a new perspective. But Joe Blow over here on the right that still lives in a freaking super fucking conservative town where all of his neighbors, have these mindsets, that, gay means you're going to hell, or, trans are out to get your kids, or, get them to do surgery or something. All these ridiculous things. As much as we know it's bullshit, they don't. And, as much as we can tell them till we're blue in the face, but that's not going to work. What I see some of these people on the right seeing is just the super evilness of the right wing government. It's obvious that they're hiding these Epstein files. That's a huge win for us because they're opening up to that, right? They're opening up to the fact that their president is not infallible, and some of them are realizing, in fact, he is an evil piece of shit. But that doesn't mean they're going to just start voting blue. We can't expect that. We can expect them to stand up to tyranny because that's what they preach all along, but that doesn't mean that all the rest of us is just going to fall in line automatically. So what I think this alt-left pipeline thing I see on TikTok is a really good thing, because what that does, it provides the younger men an opportunity to join into something that is not so negative, because you got the alt-right pipeline, and we see where that leads to. We've got all these shootings and everything. Of course, they blame it on the left. So I want to encourage the young men, especially the manly men, to get out there. And it doesn't matter. I mean, if you're a computer program, I'm in computers. If you're doing that, it's just as manly. The manliness is coming in, being able to admit, that you weren't right about everything. And that there's nothing superior about being a white male in America. Now, do we enjoy benefits because we are white males? Yes. Is that right? No. And so guys like us got to stand up and cut the bullshit and give everybody an opportunity to participate. So I was really hoping for more viewers on this, but I've got 0, and that's fine. At least I'm putting something out there. And I suggest any of you that have the equipment and the time, here it is. I'm coming up on 10 minutes here in another minute or so. And that's 10 minutes out of my day. Big deal. I'm not going to edit this. I'm not going to cut this. I'm going to leave it just as it is, so that people can get that message. Welcome to the one viewer I have now. I was speaking about the alt-left pipeline and how I think that more people need to get involved. More men and women, I think, need to get involved. It's giving the young men that are just reaching out to the alt-right and ending up in these horrible situations, it's giving them an opportunity to be a part of something that doesn't have to be completely negative or negative in any way, actually. I think it's a very cool movement on TikTok. And, after this live video here, I'll probably spend some time today learning how to post a TikTok video, and I'll submit my application for the alt-left pipeline. I think it's a great movement and one of the ways forward. I was also speaking about the Purple Revolution, and I can't really speak too much on it because I don't come from a cult. I don't come from any of that, so I'll leave that to Colt Cottage and the other people that are involved to figure that out if they can. And I wish them all the best of luck. It's just keeping the left together seems like it would be a miracle if we can come together and really push this government to do what it's supposed to do. But in the meantime, I encourage all of us to push each other what needs to be done, to do what needs to be done. And that includes having compassion for your neighbors, showing empathy for the marginalized communities, and also those that are on the right that come over, or at least maybe not even come over. If they denounce Donald Trump, man, give them all the credit in the world. That's a huge step. If they can get out of this Trump mindset, that's one step in the right direction, and that benefits society as a whole. Everything else, it's got to come in steps for those guys. So don't push people, don't shame them especially if they come out and say, you know what, I was wrong. I voted for the guy 3 times, and I messed up, and I'm sorry. You know what? Forgive them and move on. I'm not saying you have to work with them. I'm not saying you have to be buddies with them, but don't shit on them when they're leaving something toxic. And that's what I have to say for this video today. I'm going to come back daily and do some updates on current events. We'll talk more about the alt-left pipeline, and we'll see where that purple revolution is going. Well, and again, I wish it all the luck in the world, because it would be nice to see something like that. Because, one other thing is, it's not just the right wing that is playing with these billionaires and bowing to them. We all know that the left wing is just as guilty. The one thing we have is a few progressives that stand strong and don't accept that PAC money. So free Palestine, fuck Donald Trump, fuck ICE. Let's move forward. Let's move forward together. See you in the next one.